Hi, friends. Welcome to Take Care of Your Body by Rye. I'm your host, Rylan Rosano, psychology master's student, chronic illness advocate, two-time published author, and a girl who has a lot of questions, and I ask your favorite health and wellness professionals them. Join me every week for a new episode that ties back into taking care of our body, mind, and making sure we never give up on our dreams. I'll see you every Wednesday and Saturday, and make sure you hit subscribe, grab your favorite coffee, and we're about to yap about all things health, wellness, and being human. This is like chit chat hour. Oh my God, look at us. Hi, Riley.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. You're like my twin. I'm obsessed with this. I mean, thank you, TikTok.
We're literally twins and we basically have the same name.
Literally, we've been texting, and like, I feel like everyone listening is probably laughing because they're like, "You've been texting a podcast guest? Like, she's my locked in sister now, guys. You don't get it." I usually become
Found a
friends with
little sister.
podcast guests. Yeah, exactly. I'm your little sister. I usually become friends with podcast guests after they're on the show. So this is so funny that it's the other way. I'm just like obsessed with you, and like, I love you. You're like the color yellow in a person. Hope you know that.
I'm so happy to meet you. I love you
I'm
too.
like, thank you, TikTok. Okay, so tell us a little bit about you, your story, and the little yellow friends that you hang out with all the time. I'm excited. I want to hear all about the bees.
They're the cutest, fuzziest little buddies ever. They're like literally sitting over on my kitchen counter right
Do you
now.
name them? Do you name them?
So I just call them my gorgeous, gorgeous girls.
The girlies.
They're my girlies. Sometimes like a couple of boys will end up in there, but you can tell the difference because they're like super chunky and uncoordinated and it makes the girls look so much prettier. So
Which normally is what happens anyways.
yeah.
Proud, proud man hater. Not all men, but most of them. Anyways. Uh,
Um,
okay,
I
introduce this to you.
My story, I guess. So, it starts when I was 15. But technically I've kind of had stuff my whole life, but like the world turned over when I was 15. Um, I was one of those like straight A, don't really have to study, like very into school type of people. And so, like finals season, like every year, where you have like a week straight of just testing and you don't want to do any of it. I would always get super sick like the week after, like from just stressing myself out and studying and like not getting enough sleep and all that. Um, and the year sophomore year going into junior year that summer, the final exams, I was like sick, but I was like, this isn't my normal sick. I was like, something's like off. And so my parents, they always like at the end of summer or end of finals, beginning of summer, they would take us to like a favorite family dinner celebration, like, yay, it's time to like have summer. And so we went to like my favorite place, and it's like a cute like 40-minute drive through like the country to get there. And it's like 90 degrees in June in Virginia. So like it's humid and disgusting. And I was in the back of the car like covered in goosebumps, shivering. I was like I couldn't even like get a sentence out. I was so cold. I was like, I have no idea what's happening. And so we sat down to eat, and like I couldn't even get any food down. And then that night, like I started hallucinating and I had like 104-degree fever. And like after that, I was like bedbound for like 4 months straight. Like nobody could figure out what was wrong. It was just like, oh, you're having a growth spurt. Oh, it's hormones. Like, yeah, a growth spurt definitely just made me bedbound for like no reason. So,
Gaslighting.
yeah, so 4 straight months of being bedbound at 15 and getting like blood test after blood test, and doctors were like, like whatever, you'll be fine. And my mom was like, she literally has to go back to school, like, and walk the halls in like a couple of weeks. Like, what do you mean she's fine? And my mom looked at my doctor and was like, my vet does more for my dog than you're doing for my daughter. And I was like,
Help.
yes. So she was like, I literally take stool samples to my vet. Why aren't you even checking that in my daughter? And so she was like, well, because, blah, 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 making it sound like taking a stool sample is like the hardest thing in the entire world. So yeah, she ended up taking it, and then shocker, I was being eaten alive by a parasite for 4 months. So it was called Campylobacter. I'm sure like people have heard of like parasites, like the whole thing, but no, like legitimately, I was like being eaten alive for 4 months. It was like terrifying thinking about that. So I started an antibiotic and I didn't know that then, but I know now. I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and there's a whole family of antibiotics that you're not supposed to take when you have HEDS. I'm gonna like mispronounce it, but it's like the floxing antibiotics, and I was obviously given one of those. And so I think that probably just kind of started the whole decade of chronic illness like journey that happened. So, because I'm 25 now and it started when I was 15. So, yeah. Oh, my brain fog. I don't even remember what we were just talking about.
The you're on antibiotics for the parasite.
Oh, yeah. So I was on that for like, 2, 3 weeks, like the whole antibiotic cycle. And after that, I was literally like sicker than when I started them. And then it just made like my gut health like go into a whole circle, and I had like SIBO for like 10 years straight. And yeah, so antibiotics and me don't get along. So I have not taken a single round since then because I'm like, my body literally can't. So yeah, that led to literally 8 years of doctor hopping, like trying you name it, I tried it. Like I did normal Western medicine, naturopath, homeopathy, like everything that I tried, it was just like either I didn't get better or I got worse. And like, doctors just like don't believe you when you're like a woman and like young, and they're like, "Oh, like there's literally nothing wrong." So, um after 8 years of that and like trying to get any kind of diagnosis, because at that point, um the only thing that I knew that I had was Lyme because of my naturopath, but I was like, this is not like the only thing happening. So, 2.5 years ago, I joined a program called the Heal Hive, and that's hive, obviously, that's where the bees come from. So, I found out about them about a year and a half before I actually like pulled the trigger on joining the program, because I was with a homeopath at that time, and I told my mom I was like, I'm gonna give this like treatment. Like, I'll try it for a year, and if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna sting myself with bees. And she was like, okay, let's do it. And so obviously that year of like treatment did not do anything. I just got sicker, and here I am with the bees.
The birds and the bees. No, I'm kidding. Um, but I mean, were you scared at first? Like, were you like hesitant? Were you like, this is silly? Like, I think like as a like when I saw it on your TikTok, I was like, this is so freaking cool. Like, was there a moment where you're like, I'm gonna literally like sting myself with bees? That you like laughed at that?
I mean, I remember like talking to my mom and my sister, and I was like, I literally don't feel like anything is crazy or silly, like at this point.
Kind of
Like, I
everything at that point. Like, come on,
don't
break it up.
understand like what could be what else? Like, I'll sting myself with bees. I don't care. Like at a certain point after being sick for a decade, I think when people hear that someone's been sick for a decade, they like just can't comprehend that in the first place, especially like when it's almost half my life.
Right.
But like it is real. And like during that time, like it doesn't matter what you try, if it doesn't work, like you just don't try it again. So I know people are like, well, why didn't you just try like more antibiotics? And it's like, if it made me sick in the first place, why would I go back and do that again? Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Your body already said no thank you. Why are we gonna try to like make an agreement happen that's not gonna happen? Like, and I just think like you're so resilient. The fact that like you didn't give up during that time period, because I think like something that we don't talk about with chronic illness is not only the grief, but also the mental health struggle that comes with it, because you literally feel like shit. And as you're feeling like shit, you're seeing people's lives just like pass on. You feel like you hit pause on a remote and like, time isn't passing. You're just feeling like shit every day and people are living their lives, and I think like that can really put you in such a depression. Do you want to talk about that mentality that you had during that time to maybe make someone feel less alone?
Yeah. Well, when it comes to mental health and stuff, I personally deal with OCD and BPD. So I
And I'm
understand.
your therapist, so it's fine.
So don't worry, guys. I understand the mental health stuff.
She gets
Um,
it, guys.
but I mean, realistically, like it's a very lonely like place to be because if you're not literally living it, you don't understand it. And I think that like having family and people that are actually going to be next to you and walking that journey with you, like that makes such a big difference. Because people on the outside, I think it's very easy to look in and be like, oh, like you're just sick. All you need to do is like rest for a day and then you can like come out and like hang out with us and do this and that and like not live such an like one time I literally had somebody tell me that I just need to stop being so introverted and I'll feel better. And I was the way that I wanted to like slap them across the face. I'm like, if only you knew how extroverted people can be and still be chronically ill. Like those two things don't have to go together.
Right.
Uh, yeah. So when it comes, I think down into that kind of category, like you really find who your people are. Like people say that like they're your friend or like they're there for you or like whatever kind of I guess fake sentiment that they want to give you until they realize like oh being friends with somebody that's chronically ill like that's a different level of like support and like
Right.
it's a very different relationship than you're going to have with like your typical functioning friends and I personally I've only kept, I think, like one or two friends in the last like 10 years because everybody just kind of either I have to make the decision that like they're not healthy in this situation to be with me. Like, I literally lost my best friend of a decade. Literally, she knew me the entire time I was sick. And then the day of my first sting, she blocked me because of life. I understand that like it's hard like being friends with somebody that's chronically ill, but like don't be that person.
It's not your fault though. You know what I mean? Like it's not like we wake up and we're like, "Hey, I want this forever." Like it's something that happens and I think like it's hard for people to grasp because obviously like if you've only ever had the flu, like that's the sick you know. You're going to try to relate it to something that you know, but it's like if someone truly loves and cares about you, they're going to try and research your illness. They're going to try to understand what you're going through and try to show up for you and like even if you can't be that person, if you love someone, you should try to be that person and try and make it work.
Say it louder.
And like blocking someone because of that's just so immature and like obviously it's her loss because like what I've known you for like a week and like you're such a ray of sunshine and you've brought in so much sunlight into my life like hello so it's like it's just really shitty that someone see something that maybe isn't your everyday, like, oh, like I just got coffee, like whatever. It's like, hey, I'm stinging myself with bees. And like, I'm so sorry that made you uncomfortable and reflected something within you that you need to go obviously have a therapist diagnose you with because what the hell? Like, Instagram and TikTok isn't just like sunshine and rainbows, and that's another topic for another day. But that's what I hate. Like, people, I'll post me in the ER to make someone feel less alone, and then someone unfollows. I'm like, so sorry that I'm trying to make someone feel better, and you're uncomfortable that this is my everyday life. Like, sorry, I'm trying
Yeah,
to spread awareness for a condition I'm gonna have forever that a lot of people don't know about, but a lot of people deal with, and it makes you uncomfortable. Like, so sorry, but you're right. It truly teaches you who your people are. And I think like that's shitty, but also it's like, you know what? If you're not gonna come sit with me when I'm in the ER, bring me my favorite snacks, hold my hand when I'm getting sting with bees, I don't want you in my life.
no, literally.
The bees can sting you. I'll send them. I'll talk to the bees that I have in my hive, and I'll tell them to go sting you on the street.
Well, that I don't want to talk to.
Have fun thinking about me every time you see bees.
Right?
I bet you think about me when you see bees. She's haunted every day.
And she hears the buzzing coming behind her. What is happening?
Karma. But no, it's insane. Like, and that's something that's disgusting because we all crave vulnerability, but the second someone's vulnerable, it's like, oh my God, ow. Like I'm uncomfortable. Oh my God, get it away. But it's like that's what we need because being a human is hard. No one should feel alone in that. And that's just it's so upsetting that like the second you're real and authentic and it's you're trying to give the world what it needs more of, someone suddenly sees something reflected from what you shared and realizes like they're not ready to meet that. That's just so sad. And another thing, it's like, I'm so sorry you've never had to endure that level of pain to be able to relate to me.
Yeah. I was literally talking about that with like my actual therapist.
I
And
mean,
um oh my gosh, my brain fog is so bad right now. Can you remind me what we were just talking
yeah.
about?
Words. Um, level of pain. Like you don't, someone can't, if someone hasn't had to experience that level of pain, yeah, you were talking about that with your therapist.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not like any of us want other people to struggle. Like, I don't wish this upon anyone, but it does make somebody much more mature and it makes someone have a lot different levels of like patience, I think. Like, my levels of tolerance for people's actions, I think, are so much smaller because I understand like the gravity of what that situation can actually do to my body versus like what it can do to your body.
Right.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't like know how to grasp because your energy level, you can start your battery like up here at the beginning of the day. Meanwhile, I start mine down here. So
Right.
like you might I think what would be like really sad to me is when people would like I think reach out to kind of try to like ask about like hey do you want to do this and then you like explain why you can't and then they like still don't care because it's not something that would happen to them on a daily basis so they don't have to even register that like in their life.
1,000%. And that's just so sad. And it's like, I'm so sorry that like you can't understand and you've never like been in the situation. But again, like if someone truly loves you, they're gonna try to figure it out. And you know what? Like if you don't want to try to figure it out, if you don't want to be in my life, I literally once had someone tell me like I'm not gonna date you because you're chronically ill. And I'm like, bye bye. Or another the door's there, babe. And another person, like I was talking to them and I was like, oh, I'm going to the ER. And I kept like saying it in different things. They're like, how are you? I'm like getting electrolytes. I feel shitty. The dude literally ignored every time I said I was in the ER. Bye. Just talking about himself. Like, okay, you're not my person. Please get the hell away from me. Like,
When I tell you my ex literally told me quote this happened like a couple of months ago so it's
you
still
want
like
to pull up.
oh my gosh quote, you being sick was too much for me. I was sick before we started dating, you idiot.
What is wrong with these men?
Like,
Sorry, you're emotionally unavailable and you have to use an excuse instead of meeting your emotional unavailability.
yeah, yeah. Crazy idea though. Chronically ill women are actually the coolest.
They are.
They're the coolest.
They actually are,
Yeah.
Sorry. Come on. Like, we're actually really cool and really sweet too, and empathetic. So
Because we like understand things
we
from
do.
all.
We do. And you literally come with bees. Like, that's so cool.
I know.
They're like
Like
your kids.
I I have the coolest pets out of anyone in the entire world.
Literally. And that's like, I know I was voice memoing you about this, but like, I love like how people like come up with stuff like this. Like you struggle for so much, like so long, and like medicine doesn't work, and like all your typical things don't work, and someone like literally just invented this to help people, and it's like a form of medicine, and we don't talk about that enough.
Yeah. Um, so like bee venom therapy, it's actually like ancient Chinese medicine. So it's been around for like thousands of years. But the like scientific research aspect is obviously modern because like the technology that we have today. But yeah, the program that I'm in called the Heal Hive, basically it has taken all of the modern science that is available and made it like a science forward bee venom therapy program where I think the cool aspect about it is we get educated in all of the material like it's school almost. And then you can take all of that and apply it to your daily life. And I feel like having those kinds of like guidelines and like help from professionals is what makes doing something as scary as stinging yourself with bees like a much safer and like, I mean, just fantastic healing modality.
1,000%. Like, how would you say, like, you've noticed the difference? I mean, and now I know you're like lifting, like, you went from being bedbound to now, like, being able to lift and function better. Like, what was the day like when you realized, like, holy crap, these bees are helping me? And, what did that improvement look like? What symptoms kind of decreased? Like, how did you know they were working?
I think my like, oh shit, this is happening day. I driving is a big thing for me, being able to like do it by myself or like driving for like longer than 15 minutes in like each direction. Like my mom was the one, I felt like I was in an Uber all the time. My mom was just driving me around. And
Sweet.
so, like, the first time that I could drive myself to my own doctor's appointment and have my own conversation and not like need my mom to be the one like verbalizing things for me, like, that was pretty insane. I was like, is this cognition coming back? Like, what? And then, like, the first day that I could drive myself to the gym, like, that. Well, it's all driving. Clearly, it's all driving that I'm talking about. But yeah, both of those things were like, oh wow, like this is actually working. Yeah.
And like that's like such a huge difference. People don't realize like obviously driving when you feel like crap, like especially if you have like conditions like you and I have, like where dizziness and like, like just feeling like out of it, brain fog is present. Like you don't want to drive and make yourself unsafe and make people on the road unsafe. And I just think like your ability to be able to do that is like so insane now because like now you have, more cognitive functioning and like, more presence when you're driving to actually like be there instead of like feeling like you're disoriented. People don't realize like honestly, POTS like literally feels like you're on drugs. I swear to God, I've never done drugs, but like this is what I know this would feel like being drunk or on drugs. That's how I feel.
I literally feel like we're the definition of waking up with a hangover, but never actually having to drink. Like, why?
Right?
Why?
Like, hello. No, dude, like why do people not even know about POTS? Like someone when I was in the air, the girl was like, "Oh, a pot hit you in the arm." I was like, "Can you not?"
No. This is, and see, you can say like I have dysautonomia, and then someone looks at you cross-eyed and like, what word did you just say? So like it doesn't matter what terminology you use, people just don't know what you're
We
talking about.
need awareness, and it's so sad that like if COVID never happened, we wouldn't even know about half of these things.
I feel like COVID is the reason now that people are like actively trying to learn about long-term, like chronic illnesses, autoimmune illnesses, all of the things.
Right.
Yeah.
So sad that a global freaking pandemic caused us to all want to care.
Crazy.
I love America. It's great.
And we can just make our wait list for the same doctors like 15 times.
Right. You know. Um, okay, so let's get back to the bees because I love them and they're my favorite thing ever. I do love you though, so we'll get back to you, obviously. Okay, so how did you first come about finding like this bee therapy thing? Like, I know you kind of said like a little bit about that, but give a shout out if maybe someone listening is like, I want to get on this train.
Yeah. So actually, Instagram. I
Okay.
like on my For You page or whatever, explore page, that's what it's
Right.
called. Yeah, I like my whole social media at one point was just like random like healing modalities. It was just like chronic illness stuff. And one of the posts that I saw, it is actually she was one of my Heal Hive mentors. There's like a mentorship program where it's like a little peer mentor thing where everyone kind of has someone that they like send videos to. It's super cute. But her name is Audrey Lambiticus, and her post of just like stinging herself came up, and I was like, wait, someone's stinging themselves with bees to feel better? And I was like, I've heard of everything and I haven't heard of this. And so then I like just kind of like stalked her Instagram page, and then I saw that she was part of the Heal Hive. So then I just kind of like went onto their website from there and was just really intrigued by like the way that they're set up, it's like you can do all of your like monitoring labs and everything through them to ensure that like you're staying as safe as possible during the stinging process. And it's like the fact that I can just be in like one space and get access to all the things that I need is like pretty amazing.
1,000%. Like, I love that they make it so easy for you too, because I feel like if you're like a stranger like learning about that, it sounds so complicated and confusing, but it's honestly not. Like, it doesn't look that confusing and complicated.
No, like I think it just looks scary from the outside because like yeah, you're stinging yourself. Like I'm sure I felt a little crazy when I was first doing it because I'm like, even though it hurts, I know it's good.
Is it hard to get them out?
At first I like was really like confused kind of like how I was doing things, but I mean, isn't that how anything is when you're first starting it? So at first, I was using like a card and you like swipe your skin so you know it kind of like just comes out. Yeah, and after a couple weeks of that, I was like, this sucks. So I I asked a couple of my friends and they were like, oh, like we use the tweezers to remove them, or like sometimes I'll just like use my fingers to pull it out. Because I like not moving it like up my skin. I like pulling it like directly out. So
Interesting. And are there like certain areas you have to put them in, like where like there's pain or like just kind of wherever you want to go and it does the same work?
So the program that I'm in, we start at like the base of our spine and we move. You just like keep slowly going up and up your spine, and eventually you like work all the way up through your neck, all the way up to the crown of your head,
Wow.
which yeah, yeah. Queen bee, literally. Um,
That's a
but
crown. I'm gonna mail you a crown.
the yeah, since you start at the bottom for the first year, you kind of like stay like on your back and then kind of work up like more from there. But if there's like a certain spot in your body that like has an injury or like something going on, like I know some friends will like sting directly on top of something, like if you have an injury on like your knee or something, like stinging directly on that.
Makes
But
sense.
yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about lifting. You are so badass. I hope you know that. I literally sent you the rock because that's literally you, like my new bodyguard for real. Okay. So I love that you kind of are like very much into like showing like chronic illness, but also like the strength that comes with it. What was it like after you started stinging? I almost said stringing, help to go stringing to go like back into the gym and like how did that whole process look? How did you start? Like what was your first like weight that you started lifting?
Literally a barbell, like just empty, like nothing on it. I think like the coming back journey is like a lot more fun than I was expecting. Now that I'm like actively stinging because I can feel, you know, like the day by day type of progress. And it sounds cliche, but like when you're living it, enjoying that like millimeter of progress every day is like, I feel like it's a little high that you get to live on.
And like just you probably like go, holy shit, like my progress is insane because like what you're lifting now is crazy, girl.
Thank
You
you.
could probably pick me up.
I could probably throw you. Um, yeah, because when I like first got sick, like when I was 15, I was lifting then. I was a competitive CrossFitter and I was an Olympic lifter. Um, and I at I was 16. Yeah, when I qualified to compete at the Arnold, which is like the biggest like strength competition in like the country in Ohio. And um it was like 3 months before I was gonna be able to compete that I like got like taken out. Yeah. So I think it's always kind of like a little bit of a sad thing thinking about it because I'm like the coolest opportunity to compete on like one of the biggest stages like literally got ripped away from me because of like this illness. And I think it's kind of like sad knowing I'll never have that opportunity again because like it was like I qualified based on like you know like my age category, but I think it's also really cool to be able to say, like, I was dying and I still qualified. Like,
Absolutely.
that's crazy.
That's
So,
resilience.
yeah.
The R in Riley stands for resilience, by the way.
Right, right before, right before I started, like treating SIBO and stuff, and like before I got um, oh my goodness, my brain. Oh, so like right before I like joined the Heal Hive, I still had like a little bit of like strength, I guess you could say, before I like really got knocked out. And I like had three state records, like a squat record, a bench record, and a deadlift record. Like, was it a 303 squat, a 170 bench, and a 342 deadlift? And then like to go from that to like not being able to get out of bed is like crazy.
That's
And
good.
then coming from like being in bed to lifting a barbell to like 5 months later, like I can probably like almost squat 300 again. Like it's just like crazy how the bees like in literally 5 months, I've gone from like being in bed to like living. Like that's crazy.
You're living life again, like that song says. Come on.
Crazy.
So how do you learn how to work with your body instead of constantly fighting against it?
Uh, 8 years ago, Riley would have been like, "What are you talking?"
The jump scare I got when you said Riley, I thought you were like trying to like summon me because like someone want to I was like, wait.
Riley, not Rylan.
See, that's so funny because once someone was like Riley, and like honestly, like if you say anything close to my name, like I'll just turn around and be like, what? Like you need me? Rachel? Riley? What? Like
Wait, now I don't remember what you asked me.
how do you listen to your body instead of fighting against it?
Um, I think the biggest thing for me was scheduling rest because I used to just try to be like, no, I can do what everybody else does. Like, no, like I'm fine. And that would always put me into like a way bigger flare than was completely necessary. So basically, like, my new therapist, she was like, what we're gonna do is like, if you have an appointment like this day, what you do is take this many hours before and this many hours after, and you just literally do nothing. But doing nothing for us is actively resting, which is like literally a necessity, which a lot of people don't understand that.
Literally. And like I think something that like we don't talk about enough is like when you don't have a flare up day, you want to like do every single thing and then you put yourself into a flare up.
You're like, wait, I can do it, I can do it. And then it's like, I should not have done that.
Literally, then you're down bad crying at the gym for like 3 weeks.
Tell me about it.
Oh my God. Is it hard like to work out? Like, does your body ever like say, whoa, girl, stop?
Yeah. I make sure that like I'm in training groups with like, or I'm not training alone like ever. Um, Especially making sure that like I always have a spotter even when like it's not quote unquote heavy enough to need a spotter. For me, it's like you're over here spotting my pots. Thank you very much. Like it doesn't actually matter what's on the bar. So, yeah, I am really thankful to like have people around me in the gym where like if they see me like putting my legs on the wall, they'll be like, "Oh, wait, okay, we need to make sure you have 30 seconds of them up there so you get the blood flow like back to your brain." Like making sure you have like safe people is a really big thing in the
I
gym.
love that. We love that. Okay, so before we move to my next little deeper section, what would you tell another chronically ill person who sees fitness content and thinks, why can't my body do that?
What you see, you do not have to do. I on Instagram, I can fall very far into that, like, what is it called? Rabbit hole with you guys, where like I can see someone over here like squatting my like 1 rep max like it's a warm up. And in my brain, I'm like, well, I should be that strong. Like, if I wasn't sick, I would have already hit that weight type of thing. And like, then you think about it and it's like, wait, no, fitness is actually for me. It's not what is for everyone. So like I think I posted a TikTok a couple days ago where like my wrists, like if I was to hang from a pull-up bar, like my wrists were like subluxing, which for those of you that like don't know, it means that like my wrist was like going in and out of place, and like that's a really gross feeling. You don't want that. And it's like good when your joints are, like stable. So I couldn't hang from a bar, so instead I like was hanging from a bar while my feet were totally on the ground. So like I'm still doing pull-ups, right? But like I'm not actually doing a real like quote unquote normal person pull-up. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm doing one for myself. Like, yeah.
I love seeing those like TikToks or Instagrams, and it's like I'm literally doing this with a chronic illness. Like that's so badass. Like it's just crazy because like I don't know, getting to that point where you can work out and like move your body in that way is just like it's so amazing just knowing like you're literally doing it with a body that doesn't always cooperate. That's so resilient as hell. That's strength right there. Like us crying. I'm gonna like cry
Oh,
after.
don't we don't need to do that.
But like no, it's so true though, because like our bodies don't work and like we have to like retrain them to work, and that's so exhausting and so tiring. But I don't know, it's like taking care of your body is so important, obviously. Like that's the name of my show. Imagine I hated taking care of my body and like that's the title.
Yeah.
But like it's so important, but people don't realize like it's individualized in any sense, especially when you have a chronic illness. Like all chronic illnesses are different. Like two people could have POTS and treat it differently and it impact them differently. Like you can't compare someone's online to your reality because that's probably not the full story.
We're very not.
It's okay, welcome back. But no, I was saying like social media, it's so easy to fall in that rabbit hole and compare yourself to people that aren't chronically ill. And it's like that's not fair.
It's social media is not fair.
It's not real. That's why like I cry real. That's why I try to create like what I am creating. But again, like I feel like when you build something like this, so vulnerable and so authentic, like it takes a while because you're like it needs to be sacred. Like I'm not posting pictures in a freaking bikini every day. Like it's not gonna, gain quick traction because it's real and like people need to be in the space to resonate with it.
What's going on with the Zoom? I can hardly hear you.
Zoom's mean. Okay, you ready?
There you are. Yeah.
What the hell is happening? It just hates you.
Feel like anything that's like social is just not, it's not dealing with us.
It's okay. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay. So, do you ever grieve the version of yourself you thought you'd be before all of this?
That is such a good question. Yeah. I think like almost it's kind of like having a funeral for who you were like before getting sick, and like the person that you are like now is like it's like a reborn like version of yourself. Um yeah. Dang. Now you are gonna make me cry.
I'm gonna put that in a book. Book three. I'll quote you. Don't worry. But no, it's so true, and it's like you have to hold that version of you like with grace because I think realizing like you're not your illnesses, like you're someone who deals with them. Like we're so much more than all of this, and it doesn't feel like that because it feels like it's the movie playing right now. Like you sting yourself with bees, like you're like, oh my God, it's the movie playing on, but like that's just a part of you. It's not who you are.
No, literally. I feel like when you're chronically ill, it's so easy to like feel like your life is just happening like right in front of you because you don't want to like sit in the pain that you're in. So it's easier to just like dissociate from like your entire being. And like healing is so cool because I feel like I'm floating down from like living up here to like finding, like being like inside of your body. Like that's also, I feel like the biggest part of getting better is like learning that being inside of your body is like safe and okay. Like have like being inside of a body that is working against you at all times is like I think one of the most terrifying feelings that like anyone can experience.
1,000%. It's so unpredictable and like it's so hard to make plans because you're like, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, and then tomorrow you feel like shit, and then you feel like a shitty friend. But you're not shitty because it's not in your control. And again, if people care and love about you, they know that's a part of your life that will happen,
Mm.
you know?
The people that care just
People
like
can learn FaceTime.
it's not hard. It's,
It's not hard. Like, same thing, to be honest with you.
yeah.
Except I'm not like physically in the room, but like my soul's here. So that's all that matters.
Hello, doggy.
Yeah, literally. She's like, I don't know, having a moment out there. Okay, so how do you handle when people tell you you're so inspiring? Or like, I don't know, I love hearing that, but then also like it makes me feel weird. Do you agree?
Yeah, sometimes I don't feel like it's actually a compliment.
You're so inspiring. Thanks, babe. I can't take a shit. It's been like 2 weeks.
Me doing my enema this morning.
Like, okay, you're so
No,
inspiring. I literally just got water and my heart rate like spiked, but okay, thanks.
I think the thing is like we don't want to have to be inspiring. Like none of us want to be in the position that like makes us have to be the person that like inspires people to make it through like the dark shit that like nobody wants to be in that position. But like then when you are that person and like other people are like looking to you for like I don't I don't want to say like advice or anything, but like people are looking to you to like see how much you've done and how well you're doing and then like they almost want to like partake in that but they didn't want to partake in anything else before. It's like what like that meme where like there's one person clapping for you during it and there's like a million people for you clapping after it. Like I don't actually want to like even hear what you have to say. Like not in a well, I guess kind of in a mean way, but like you weren't there like when it mattered. So why do you care that I'm an inspiration now? I guess is kind of how I see it.
Literally. Like, no, it's so true. Like my first book, which like all that's a whole nother like text strand of me and you chatting, but like I had like people not understand me when I was like in school or in high school, and people were like so mean when I graduated early. And then I released this book like talking about the whole journey, and they're like, congrats, like I can't wait to get it. I'm like, babe, you were one of the people that were mean to me and that I'm writing about in the book. But okay. Like okay. Like what? Crazy. Insane. Insane work, by the way. Also, I hate when people tell us to get better. Like, that's like telling a kid you're gonna go for ice cream and then not taking them. Like, that's not happening.
The feel better soon one, I think kills me the most because I'm like, soon? What soon?
Swallow it, swallow it. Okay.
Like, I don't like what do you mean soon? Like when I was 15, I did not think 25 meant soon.
Crazy. It's like they're acting like I'm like a grandma that just like broke her hip. Like, feel better soon.
Yeah.
Like, okay. But it's also so shitty. Like, I was literally in a brace for my elbow, and like people were so like, oh, what happened? But like, if I'm like dizzy and like gonna pass out, no one cares. Why do we only care about pain we can see?
Invisible illnesses matter. Capital letters.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what do we have to write on our foreheads what we deal with?
No, literally. Because
Oh,
like I remember when everything like started. I mean, I was like literally 15 walking around school just like you. I like how we both had something happen when we were 15 and
that
in high
makes
school.
sense.
Completely opposite stories.
Like, more.
Like you go like walking like I was only in an 800 person capped high school. So like it's a small high school building and like I'm walking and like I don't even understand like what classroom I'm walking to anymore because my cognition like can't comprehend it. I would like stare at my locker for like 10 minutes and I would be like combinate like what like I couldn't even understand how to like turn the dial anymore.
Right?
And like but people are like, like you just got stupid. Like, no, like I physically like can't comprehend it anymore. And so then like all the people that were like in person in school and like ignored or whatever because it's like, oh, it's just the sick girl. And then on like social media, you see me, like hitting lifting records and you're like, oh, congratulations. Like, why do I want to hear your congratulations now?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Rude. It's insane. It's insane. And like, I just think, like, again, like, it's terrible that if someone, like, accomplishes something after enduring all this shit, that's when we care. But why don't we care when they're going through the shit?
Yeah. It's like nobody texted me to check on me when I had to like leave school, but like yeah. Like why would we check on somebody when they had to like disappear and like take an extra 4 years to graduate high school? Like why would we care? We wouldn't.
Terrible. But anyways, I'm happy that we have each other locked in. You're coming to my wedding, like when that happens one day. I'll have like liquid IV and all that good stuff. The goodie bags will be.
Could you imagine? We're just throwing salt for each other.
Wait, can the bees come?
Fly, fly,
The
fly.
bees just fly. I love that. Like, what do you mean, like doves? No. Throw flowers? We're throwing salt.
Yes.
We have like a whole medical team there just in case something happens.
Yeah. Me with my backpack that's like a mini walking hospital.
I'm dead. If like all the chronically ill girlies getting it when they listen to this, like everyone else just like, what the hell?
Yeah, no.
Anyways. Okay, let's do a fun rapid fire. Are you ready?
Oh, rapid fire. Okay.
Okay. Gym day or cozy day in bed?
Jill.
Favorite lift?
Favorite lift? Squats.
Treatment day essential.
Treatment day essential. Oh, there's so many. Oh, I guess I have to say bees, right? But like, oh, B12. I have to inject myself twice a day. I couldn't live without it.
One chronic illness product you refuse to leave home without.
My amber light blockers.
Most annoying unsolicited health advice you've gotten.
Do yoga. Ah!
Bro, I used to do yoga, now I can't. Like, don't be mean. Don't be mean. Gross.
Yoga doesn't help.
Um, if your nervous system could text you one sentence, what would it say?
Wait, what'd you say?
If your nervous system could text you one sentence, what would it say?
Slow down.
What's one tiny thing that can instantly make a flare day better?
Rest.
If a girl is listening to this from her bed right now, feeling like her body has taken her entire life from her, what do you want her to know?
That you are lovable.
We love you. Where can we follow you if we want to support you and the bees?
Oh, I need to know my usernames, don't I? I don't remember them. On Instagram, it's Riles Lifts, RILESSS _lifts. And then not me having to check my own TikTok for my own name.
It's okay, you hate TikTok, so it's fine.
Uh Riley Ann, RILEYYYANNE.
We love that. Thank you so much for joining me. I love how I'm like saying that like we're not gonna go text now, but that's not the
I
point.
know. We're literally about to get off and just start texting each other
And
immediately.
like you need to know the rest of the lore I was talking about.
Yeah.
Uh, but thank you for joining me. I'm so happy that social media brought us together. For everyone listening, talk to strangers on the internet. I recommend.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds, actually.
That's like how I have some of my best friends, okay, guys? Like, it's fine. You know what? It's the world we live in. Like, come on.
Making chronic illness communities online, that's what it's about,
That's how
honestly.
we get through.
Yeah.
It's either this or I like sob in the corner with my Ben and Jerry's. So, like, what do we want?
Ice cream.
Well, yeah, but and ice cream with friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on. But thank you for joining me, for educating all of us and making us feel less alone. I adore you, and you're such a beautiful, bright soul. And yeah, can't wait to go text you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.